Hi guys, this is editing Natasha, and I just realized that I never made an intro for this video. Hi, hey, hello, welcome to a new video. So my name is Natasha and I love making videos about books, and I love making vlogs as well, like this one that you're about to watch. And in this video I will be doing some book stuff, and I will be also taking you guys along with me through a reading vlog because I am trying to get my second fall read in, and that book is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, a very anticipated read of mine since last year, and yet I have been having the hardest time starting the book. So if you guys didn't know, The Naturals is another book series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It got way popular back in 2023, and I did pick it up in 2023, but I had a hard time starting it because I was so busy by the end of 2023. I just didn't have the time of day to actually commit to reading that book, and so I decided to start The Naturals back in April. It was just not the time. It was the right book, just not the right time, if you guys know what I mean. Anyways, the book The Naturals itself is a series. I think there's 4 books in the series, and it's basically Criminal Minds but make it YA. So that's kind of what it is. And in this book, you're following Cassie, who had a history where her mom died 5 years ago and she doesn't know who the murderer is, and then fast forward to present day, she got recruited for a, like a mentoring program for kids who have like special abilities, like not supernatural abilities, just some of them have like some of the kids are natural profilers, some of them are really good at statistics, some of them are also like an emotional intelligent, I don't even know what to call them honestly, but that's what the book is about. And you're following our main character, Cassie. I tried to start that book back in April, just wasn't the right time to start that book. And usually during the October or like the fall months, I will usually want to dive into mystery books. So that is what today's video is going to be about. So enjoy the video. Hi guys, it is, I don't even know what is October 10th. It has been quite a while. I am currently reading 3 different books. Happy fall, everybody. Fall is just a concept where I live because Indonesia weather is just crazy hot, especially if you live in Jakarta. It is just not your friend. Do not expect fall. You can't. Fall is just a concept here, and so in this video I'm basically romanticizing fall. It is currently very, very hot. It's been like, I don't know, for the past like week or so, it has been so hot, and the weather hasn't changed. It says it's gonna rain, but it doesn't rain. I also have my Backstreet Boys shirt, my favorite shirt ever since high school. That doesn't matter. So, as I said, I have been quite busy. I'm doing some stuff personally, and I've also just been like taking my time with the Lord, just trying to like just have been like focusing on my faith journey. So let's go ahead and dive into the books I've been reading. First book, I decided to pick up The Naturals again. It has been a while. I think I started this book back in April probably, but I never finished it. Put it on pause and then tried to pick it up again in, I don't know, May probably. Didn't work out well for me, and so this is the 3rd time, and now I am exactly in chapter 24, and it's going really, really well. I feel like if I do want to commit to this book and just sit down and read and devour this book, I can. The thing is, I just find other things that I want to do, so I can't really just like sit down and read and finish the book. I don't know. I have to have my head, like my mind fully stimulated, or else I'll just go crazy, honestly. The next book that I'm reading is this is actually an Indonesian book. It's also written in Bahasa Indonesia, so it's about stoicism, and it's not that I'm practicing stoicism, that's not that, but I do believe that there are some principles in this book that actually kind of aligns with my beliefs. So like, this is just like for peace of mind, like how mindful of what your mind is full. Mindful for what is the word, what is the phrase, mindful of what you're mindful of. Is that, yeah, I hope that is the phrase. I can't even remember. But anyways, this is the book that I was talking about. In Indonesian it is Filosofi Taras. So yeah, it's actually about a Greek Roman philosophy on mental health for this day and age. So I've been reading this book. I'm also halfway through this book, so it's pretty good. It talks a lot about like overthinking, understanding emotions and how to deal with emotions, and then anxiety, overthinking, and like a lot of it is just like very self-explanatory if you understand stoicism. This is not an in-depth study in stoicism, but I am having a really bad time explaining anything. The third book that I'm reading, and I just got this book 2 days ago, and that is a Christian nonfiction book by Jenny Allen, and this is Untangle Your Emotions. Jenny Allen is one of my favorite authors. I've read one of her books previously called Find Your People. It's one of my favorite books on community and friendships and the Christian life, and I just love it so much. I have not yet been able to get Out of Your Head by her, but I just know that I've read her devotion on the YouVersion app, and it's so good. I cannot wait to get my hands on that book. And in this book, we are talking about emotions, how to deal with them, and to understand the things that we feel. And I only started it, I think I'm only one chapter in, so I can't really say much about the book, but it's going pretty well. And all I can say is that I love hearing Jenny Allen speak. I've heard a lot about her book and her talking about her own book in several podcasts that I listen to, and that is mainly the reason why I decided to pick up this book. When it first came out, I had my eye on it, but it was so freaking expensive at the local bookstore, and I got this on sale yesterday, so it is a steal. I'm very excited to finish this book. As I said, I'm only 10 pages in probably, so I got my hands full with 3 books. I said that I wasn't going to multi-read again because last time when I was reading Binding 13, I was actually reading Caught Up. I was reading Caught Up and then Binding 13, and I finished Caught Up and then resumed with Binding 13, and I told myself I wasn't going to multi-read again because my head was just going in different directions. But now I just feel like my mind would be fully stimulated with that amount of book, and so now I have 3. You guys, I am currently reading The Naturals. Tell me how this book is actually going really well for me. The thing is about this book is that it's a little bit darker than the Inheritance Game series, because this book is actually more of Criminal Minds but make it YA. And I've just been eating this book up. Oh my gosh, I'm almost, no, I'm not almost done. I just have oh wait, I might be almost done. Hold on, let me check. Yeah, I only have 100 pages left. I can easily finish it today if I want to. I kind of want to right now. It's going really well, and how I now I'm questioning myself, why did it take me this long to actually read this book? I'm sorry, excuse me, this is just really addicting now that I'm reading it, and I'm actually now considering watching Criminal Minds. Just don't like horror in general. I tend to just not go to that genre. I don't want to fill myself with that kind of and those kind of negative vibes. I don't want that. But I do tend to want to read mysteries, and a couple of years ago, I think in 2022, I read a couple of mystery books. I read, nope, it was last year, but I did start reading mystery books in 2022. I read, if this counts as mystery, I don't even know. I read the Inheritance Games series, and after that, the next year, I started reading A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I have not yet continued the series. Now I'm very intrigued to continue with the series because I watched The Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and it was actually very, very good. And so now I'm just actually excited to continue the series because I want to see what happens in the show, but I don't want to not spoil, but I just kind of want to like read the book first before I go into the show, if you know what I mean. Then besides Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I also read The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. I'm very intrigued to read more of Riley Sager's books because I did try to read The Paris Apartment this year. Didn't work out well for me. I DNF'd the book like probably like 15% in. I don't know. It was just very confusing because of how many point of views there were in the book, and it was just like really hard to just like kind of, I don't know. It just wasn't going for me. The thing about me is that I often prefer dual point of views in books, but multiple point of views, not really my thing. It just gets kind of confusing in my brain, honestly. So I didn't like that. So I DNF'd that, and so I'm just like thinking about more mystery thriller books because I tend to get the chills when I read that. And yesterday while I was reading, see, I get scared easily, so like I I get spooked easily, okay? So when I was reading this last night, I just got so anxious and I had to like switch over to another book that I was reading just to like calm my mind because like it was just not going well for me last night. I just got too anxious, so I had to stop. And I'm picking it right back up again, and now I'm in chapter 28. I'm about to enter chapter 28. The thing is, like right now I'm feeling like I want a cozy romance book, but like at the same time I'm on a book buying ban, so I'm trying to make good with the books that I already have. And some of the books that are on my TBR right now that I would like to get to is either The Tattooist of Auschwitz, Truly Devious, or Stay By, or Dance of Thieves. I don't know. I opened Dance of Thieves a couple of days ago when I like opened the pages, the first page, super small font, and I was like, excuse me? Like, it was so small. I don't know. But then again, like I did find Magnolia Parks having like quite small fonts when I first like opened the book, but like I devoured that book, so who knows, maybe I'll actually enjoy it. Akatar also has like quite small fonts if you ask me, and I don't know, the spacing between the letters for me did something to me. I don't know. When you read books like The Naturals, you guys see like how they are like spaced out, and I just like having them spaced a very like they have enough space in between lines, and it just helps me stay focused. I just can't with small spaces, but probably because I'm claustrophobic, so I don't know. I'm gonna continue reading this book and I'll update you guys later. Silly me. I think I forgot to give you guys some reading updates for the past month. Last month, I did a buddy read with my book bestie Amy. We ended up reading Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh. Me and Amy, we both ended up reading this book, and honestly, I loved this book. When I first picked this book up, it was quite difficult for me to get in, probably because for the last month I was reading light romance reads and it wasn't heavy like Binding 13 was. At that point, I think I was finishing up Wild Eyes and Caught Up. So Wild Eyes by Elsie Silver and Caught Up by Liz Tomford, and then I decided to read, was it Caught Up? I think it was Caught Up. I read Caught Up and I read Binding 13, so I interswitched between the two when I'm in the mood for them. And oh my goodness, I will say that I got a bunch done from Binding 13 because me and Amy, we would do like this we would like we would come to an agreement, like we read the first 100 pages, and then we'll like continue another 100 pages when the other person finishes, and then so on and so on until we finish the book. And it seriously was such a great book that it was so fast paced. I love the way that this book was written. There were a lot of Irish slangs that I learned in this book, but it didn't really bother me. It was actually fun reading about it. You know, like reading culture. It felt like I was being educated with Irish culture. I feel like, and all the rugby and all of that, and that's just so fun. And anyways, Binding 13, Shannon and Johnny. I love both of those characters, especially Johnny. I think like wow, I feel like he is, I don't know, maybe he is an overachiever. I don't even know, but I understand where Johnny is coming from because he is so passionate about rugby, but at the same time it becomes a very irritable habit of his to just ignore his pain just so he can continue with his rugby. It could have killed him, honestly. I just thought like it could have killed him. And I feel like I thought Gibbsy was such a great friend, always looking out for Johnny, and I just know I love Gibbsy. This is the first book, and I just know that I'm going to be obsessed with Gibbsy when I get to his book. And mark my words, I will go and I'm gonna commit to the series. This is a series I'm gonna commit to. Probably not this year, but you know, we'll work our way through that. Anyways, Shannon, on the other hand, I understand where she's coming from as well, being traumatized by being bullied at her old school and then also having an abusive, toxic parent in her family. And home life is just like it's hell, school is hell for her, but I'm so glad that she transferred to Toman and met such amazing people, and she was reunited with her old friends who were her best friends, and they just treated her so well. I loved Claire, I love Lizzie. I just know like I'm going to literally fall in love with the whole entire series. It might just be one of my favorite series. I'm gonna put that out there. It might just be one of my favorite series now. And looking at my shelves right now, I can say that I have a lot of unfinished series. And some I've unintentionally started. Okay, so some of the unfinished series that we have: the Rose Hill series, which I started this year, the Windy City series I started this year, but I have not read book 1 and book 2. I'm working my way down through up. And then, what else? Oh, the fine print. Oh yeah, okay. The Dreamland, it's a tongue twister. The Dreamland Billionaire. The Dreamland Billionaire series. I started the fine print last year. Haven't started the other books yet. I have not continued the series. And then we have, so that's 3 series. Okay, and then we have A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Also haven't picked up the series again. I was originally just going to read the first book, but now TV show, I am hooked to the series, and now I'm wondering how the other 2 books are going to be. So another series that we have to continue. And then we have The Naturals that I'm currently reading. So that's 5 series plus Binding 13, so that's 16. Nope, 6 series. So yeah, I have quite a lot of series that I need to catch up on. Glad we catched up. Glad I caught you guys up with all the book updates that I have. And I'm gonna go ahead and continue reading. Hey guys, so it's a couple of days later. I realized that I haven't showed you guys the reading journal update. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of an update tour on it. I started with the series tracker I have, so I just filled in the Windy City series book 3. I still haven't read book 1 and book 2. I think I'm not gonna be reading book 1. I don't know. So we have like a blank page right here because I want to fill in with other series that I've started. And then over here I just have like my 24 books for 2024. I don't think I crossed out anything for this month, I don't think. Oh wait, I did. I forgot to cross out Binding 13. I already read Binding 13, which means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I have 8 more books in this list, including Ruthless Vows, Terms and Conditions, Love Redesign, Nothing Like the Movies, The X-Files, Icebreaker, The Rom-Commers, and A Novel Love Story. And then over here, I just have my the books I read in 2024. So right here, I just added Wild Eyes, Caught Up, and Binding 13 because I finished all of this last month. And then I just have a list of books that are on my to be bought list, and I crossed out a couple. I also have like just this like cute prompt and alphabet reading challenge. I added Binding 13 and Caught Up in there, and then I just added Caught Up to my monthly favorites. So like every month I will put in a book. So there you go. The next page I have the 2024 bracket, and ultimately I will find out what was my top 2024 favorite book of the year. So I added Caught Up into the list of the top 2 for the months of March, September, April, and October. So we will have to write a favorite book in the month of October. So I'm excited to see what my favorite book in the month of October is going to be. But that is what it looks like for now. I have Play Along, Yours Truly, and Caught Up in my 2024 bracket. So I'm excited for that. I wrote down this like favorite book scenes, and I don't know, I had this idea of I wanted to remember some book scenes that I love from the books that I read. So right now I only have a little bit. I only have like Reckless, Play Along, Just for the Summer, and Binding 13. So I'm trying to fill my way through that. And then over here we just have like an author's backlist, and a couple of days ago I just filled in Elsie Silver's Wild Eyes and then Liz Tomford's over there. So that's that. And then we have my September hopefuls that I didn't complete. I didn't read Nothing Like the Movies because it's still not available up until today. So yeah, so I did however completed 3 books on the TBR for September. So that is okay. Oh, and I also, oh my gosh, I forgot. I made the September video diaries. I have like my August wrap up and my September TBR, and then like what was this one? Continuous series, and then Song Association, which both of these videos I have privated, unfortunately. So yeah, I need to fill in some of the dates and books featured in the video, so I will have to put some things in it, and I haven't filled in any of these other pages because I just haven't had anything to fill in. Hey guys, I wanted to give you guys a little reading update because it's nighttime. It is currently 9. Oh, you cannot see that. It's currently 9:30 and it's getting pretty late. I'm getting pretty tired. I have switched from reading The Naturals to reading Jenny Allen's Untangle Your Emotion. As I said earlier, that I get very anxious at the nighttime, so reading The Naturals would be like scaring myself halfway to death. So we're not gonna do that, and we're not going to play with my anxiety. So I decided to switch over to a more spiritual, more godly read, and that is Untangle Your Emotions by Jenny Allen. I seriously just love her books. I love her writing style and how whenever she speaks, whenever she writes, it just feels so near in a way. I don't even know how to describe how near I feel when I read her books. It almost feels like I'm talking to my own mentor, which she does mentor a couple of other people that I do know, and by know I mean I follow them. and the them that I'm talking about is Janina Mapola and Madison Pruitt-Trout, if you guys know that, Maddie Pro. I've been following them for years, and I've just seen them grow in their faith journey, and I just love that. And Jenny is their mentor, and whenever she speaks on their podcasts, and I recently just listened to the Stay True podcast by Maddie Pro. She was recently a guest on Maddie's podcast, and it just helped me so much. And then I also recently listened to a Girls Gone Bible podcast featuring Jenny Allen. She was a guest for the episode, and she talked a lot about emotions and how, oh my gosh, it was just so good. And honestly, I've learned so much from this book. This book really does talk about how to deal with your emotions, how to name your emotions, and how do you like cope with that emotion. And it's just been so mind-opening to me, because like I'm a big feeler. I don't even know if that's a word. I'm a big feeler. I'm an emotional person. I would cry when I'm anxious, and I just always noticed that about myself. Growing up, I've gotten a lot better, I might have to say. I'm trying to understand and like learn about our emotions, and this book has really spoke a lot to me. I've only read like, how many chapters am I in? I'm not even 50 pages in. I'm short of 2 pages. I'm only 4 chapters in, and I'm already learning so much from this book. And it is just crazy how, not crazy, but it's like more like I'm amazed crazy. It's just crazy how everything in our bodies and our minds and our hearts, our nervous systems, everything about us as humans are all wired and interconnected. And I know, like, scientifically speaking, that is what it is. Like, it's very scientific, but honestly, I'm in awe of how Jesus made us humans into the likeness of God, in the image of Jesus, of God. And reading through this book, talking about emotions, just like solidifies how amazing God works and how he just like creates us and designs us as humans. Like, I can't get enough of this book. I'm gonna go ahead and read some more. Also, little disclaimer, I am wearing a One Direction t-shirt. This is my only One Direction t-shirt, and I cherish it so much. I love this t-shirt. I love One Direction. I feel like I'm back in my One Direction era again. I'm pretty sure they're going to be ranked as one of my top artists this year for Spotify wrap up. I'm so excited to see my Spotify wrapped up. I already know in advance, like, at least my top 2 artists. I already know my number 1 artist will be Niall. I already know that, and now probably coming in close second is either I feel like it's either going to be Sabrina, Tate McRae, or One Direction. I just already know that. Also, I love how Spotify has this like your sound capsule on the phone app, and it is just so cool to get to see like your statistics every month. Like, for instance, I'm in a month of, I'm like looking through my September sound capsule. I listened for a total of 2,595 minutes. My top artist is Niall Horan, not surprising. My top song is Decode by Sabrina Carpenter. So, look kinda insane, but I just got done showering and I'm gonna close up today's vlog because I forgot to vlog yesterday, but basically I finished one of the books that I'm reading, and obviously you all guessed it that I finished The Naturals first. It was really fast paced. Again, I do think that this book kind of took a while for me because you know how sometimes it's the right book at the wrong time? That was this book. I think I've kind of examined myself, not last year, but 2 years ago when I started reading. I did read The Inheritance Games by the same author, Jennifer Lynn Barnes, and I remember I loved that and I enjoyed it very much. When other people get into their fantasy moods in the months of fall and into the winter months, I get into my mystery mood. I absolutely devoured these last, like, I don't even know, last 100 pages. This book isn't that thick at all. It was only like 300-ish pages, I think. It was only 308 pages, and I really loved it. I highly recommend the Natural series if you guys are looking for a fast-paced, not so creepy mystery. I don't know what it is, but for me, I just am I'm just a scaredy cat. What can you do about it? But now that I'm in my mystery mood, I did pick up another book that I think I got this in Christmas 2 years ago, and I haven't picked it up since, and that is Truly Devious. I do know that this is a mystery, but it also is considered as a dark academia book, and so I'm trying to see if I like that kind of style of writing. I did try to read it 2 years ago, but I wasn't feeling it, and so I'm picking this book back up. And then I still have a couple of other reads that I'm reading. As I said, I have this Stoicism book. Not really Stoicism, but a lot of the content of this book is about Stoicism, and then also my Christian nonfiction that is Untangle Your Emotions by Janie Allen. Both of these books are going pretty well for me. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Stick around for more videos. See you guys on the next video. I love you all so much, and bye-bye!